In this tutorial, we will better understand your placement and how to pick appropriate courses for your upcoming semester based on your placement results. The first thing you will want to do is log into your MyMassasoit portal. Once you have logged in, scroll down and click on DegreeWorks Student. Your DegreeWorks Student Audit will populate. This is a great tool because it's essentially a live academic map showing all the courses you need for your program, as well as what you have currently enrolled in, and as you go along further, what you've completed with your grades. On your DegreeWorks, you'll see your student name, your student ID. If you have an assigned advisor, which you may not yet, so that's okay, you will later on in the semester. If you had any registration holds, your current major. If the major you see here is not the major that you had intended to sign up for, please reach out to an advisor and we would be happy to help you. When you get a college GPA, it will be listed here. And if you took our placement test, you should have received those results from the testing department, but you can also click here for those. Just as a reminder, when you took the placement test, if you felt like you could have done better or you were a few points away from placing up to a higher level, there is the option to retest. Next, you'll see the degree progress bar. This will continue to increase during your time at Massasoit. This section will also continue to get filled in right here during your time at Massasoit when you're closer to graduation. This box is very important. This is any developmental placement requirements that you may have placed into. So again, this could be based on your placement testing, based on high school transcripts, or college transcripts. When you enter Massasoit, you're assessed in 3 separate areas: reading, writing, and math. We'll start with reading. For reading, you either got placed into an ESL level, Prep for College Reading 1, Prep for College Reading 2, or perhaps you have no reading required, meaning you are at college level for reading and do not need to take a reading course. This particular student placed into Prep for College Reading 2 and has 1 refresher level reading course to do. Next up is writing. For writing, you could either place into the ESL level, you could place into Intro to Writing, or you can be college ready for writing, which this student is, and you can tell that by the check mark. Next up is math. Math is a little more tricky because there's so many different options or levels. So for math, again, based on your placement, you may have placed into Prep Math 1, which we don't see on the student, Prep Math 2, which it looks like this student has already completed, and I can tell that by the check mark, and I see the course in their grade and when they took it as well. Prep Math 3, or Intermediate Algebra, or perhaps a student has placed even higher, such as college algebra, statistics, pre-calculus, calculus, or so on. So, for example, if you're a student and all of this is green, you can go right down to your major requirements. If you have any of these boxes open, we want to be focusing your first semester on taking these courses. I stress to you, if you are picking whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 courses, and you have any reading, any writing, or any math boxes open in this area, those are the courses you want to be taking first. There are many courses at the college that these courses are what we call prerequisites to, meaning these have to be completed before you can take a lot of courses in your major. So again, that's reading, writing, and math. So back to the math placement for a moment, you'll see how they have Prep Math 2 or Intro to Algebra, Prep Math 3 or Intermediate Algebra. So what does that mean? Prep Math 1, 2, or 3 are one format that you can take that math course in. And then Fundamentals of Math, which is the same as Prep Math 1. Again, we just don't see it listed here. So that's Fundamentals of Math. Intro to Algebra or Intermediate Algebra is a different way we can take a math course. The Prep Math courses are computer-based learning where you're learning from a computer program through videos and different engagement or interactions on the computer, typically done in the classroom, with an instructor there for support, but the instructor is not running the course. Everyone in the course can be at a different point, different topics. You're going at your own pace, but there is a minimum amount that you have to complete during that semester. The perk of one of those courses is that you're able to possibly complete more than one course in a semester. So sometimes this is really helpful for someone who maybe just didn't do well on the placement test and just needs some refresher, and all of a sudden all this math is coming back to them and they're able to accelerate very quickly. Someone who just really wants to understand math on their own or go at their own pace, whether that's slower or faster than the class. For the traditional classroom, the fundamentals of math, the intro to algebra, the intermediate algebra, those are offered in a traditional classroom format. When the instructor is at the front of the room teaching the whole class as a group, everyone is quizzed and tested on the same material at the same time. You will only get through one level course in a semester for those. So again, if you happen to be able to get through 2 courses in a semester for the prep math, that will just be a way to accelerate getting to college level math faster. Just to touch base, these are refresher level courses. You are still graded on them. However, they do not count towards graduation. So again, just really important to set you up for a good foundation to be successful in your higher level courses. So when you're talking about what courses to take for your upcoming semester, again, I always recommend if you have a reading, you want to be taking that. Writing, it's always great, especially your first semester, to be taking some kind of writing course, whether it's a refresher level or right at college level, and some kind of math. So those are 3 courses right there that I recommend taking. If you're not looking to take 3 classes yet, that's okay. We can pick and choose what might be best for you, but for those students who want to be full-time, meaning at least 4 classes, that's potentially 3 courses right there. Now, for example, using this student, they need to take a reading course. So I'm going to say that this student has asked to register for 4 classes. So right away, I am going to say, we want this reading class done because, again, this is going to hold you up from taking some of your major classes. For writing, I see we're right at college level for writing. So great, we're going to take that English class and then a math class. So that would be 3 courses. Now, for a 4th class, that's when we want to go down to our major courses, which are listed below. So DegreeWorks is amazing in showing what courses the student is registered for. This is just our test student, so we have already registered for some classes, completed some classes. However, sometimes I recommend looking at your academic map, which you should have also received, and it can be helpful to look at the semester breakdown of courses. So you can see in an ideal world, by taking 5 classes for 4 semesters, a student has completed all of their requirements for graduation. However, that's not taking into any of those developmental or refresher courses, which can add to these courses. And to be realistic, a lot of our students, even that are full-time, are not taking 15 credits. 15 credits is 5 classes, and a lot of our students are just taking 4 classes that are full-time, and that is perfectly fine. 1, 2, or 3 classes would be considered part-time. So, as I said before, that student will already be taking an English course, a math course. However, it will not count as their math elective. A math elective would be a college-level course. They're also going to be taking a reading course. Now I need a 4th class. As I mentioned, those refresher level classes, especially any reading, any refresher level writing, or that Prep 1 fundamentals of math may prevent you from taking some of these courses. So what I want to do now is, because this student did place into that reading course, it's going to prevent them from taking these courses. I want to look for these CARs. That means that they're ready to go. Courses with no prerequisites. So I could recommend to this student, in addition to that English composition class, that reading class, and that math class, They could take a modern language elective. They could take a speech elective. And those would be some basic recommendations. Even though speech is in semester 3, that's still okay because it's one of our ready-to-go courses. If this is the part that gets a little tricky for you, this is when we are happy to help you. We want to support you and teach you how to understand DegreeWorks and read your academic map on your own, but we are happy to give you some guidance on what courses to suggest. Again, always looking at this developmental placement requirement box first, and then going down to your major courses. Typically, once you get acclimated to Massasoit, you will have an idea of what order the courses should go in, and you'll be referencing DegreeWorks much more often than your map, but they are both always available to you through your portal. For any questions, please email us at the Advising Career and Transfer Center, which is ACT, at massasoit.edu, and we will be happy to help you figure any of this out. Thank you so much.